Hello everyone. Welcome to the LeverX webinar series, a free educational service offered to SAP customers to inform and demonstrate SAP functionality and industry best practices to improve your business performance. Our webinar today is entitled Bill of Material, Material Master Extension and Allocation Tool from LeverX. This webinar will introduce you to the latest process automation application made possible by LeverX's new BOM and Material Master Extension Allocation tool called BMAX. BMAX allows business users to define and maintain rules that can be used to extend material masters and bill of materials to operative areas of the organization, including plants, storage locations, sales organizations, distribution channels, and warehouses in a single click. My name is Alan Mendel, Vice President at LeverX, and I will be the moderator for today's webinar. Before we begin our topic, let me briefly introduce you to LeverX. LeverX helps companies increase business value by leveraging existing investments in SAP solutions.
Excellent. Okay, thank you, Alan. I'll share out my screen and get this presentation set up. Good morning, good afternoon, everyone. And Dave, I think you're first up to speak, so I'll let you proceed.
Perfect. So Eric, why don't you flip to the next slide? All righty. All right, hi everybody. This is Dave Cramp from LeverX, and what I want to talk about today and have Eric show to you is our new BMAX tool. And I shouldn't say tool; it's a set of tools. And as Alan said in the intro, this is a solution set that we have developed to enable you to work with bills of materials and material masters in a much easier, simpler format, and then apply rules to help drive this information into your SAP system. So it's a very comprehensive set of tools that can work with BOMs and material masters. Let's go to the next screen, Eric. Kind of wanted to put a picture of your typical master data creation, and this is probably way too clean for your typical SAP master data creation process. But I think everybody who works with SAP and deals with SAP understands that creating master data in SAP for their corporation, I wouldn't say is difficult. I guess the word maybe is arduous. There's a lot of things that have to be done, and a lot of work has to be done amongst a lot of different people. And so therefore it is, it's a big headache, very time consuming. So why did we create BMAX? We did that because customers like you, working with customers like you has become very apparent that this material master and BOM extension process is very time consuming. It's full of errors. Typically very manual, and really in a lot of places we talk to you just plain out of control. So what we did is we came up with a better way. Let's go to the next screen, Eric. We created the BMAX tool because we wanted to simplify this crazy process and expedite the extension material masters and BOMs. And what we did is we did this to allow for a more accurate input of information, to apply a control model which will guard your process. You can define a process and then guard it. And at the same time, this will provide you unique flexibility to be able to adapt to ever-changing business demands. So in the short, we wanted to simplify speed, create higher accuracy, give you some governance, but also provide you the agility in managing this overall process. Next, Eric. So what we did is we came up with a suite of tools, and the suite of tools, the umbrella is BMAX, Bill Material Master Extension tool, and we have three subsets of the tools that we work with. We have the BMAX-R, or the R, which is the rules engine, and this allows for you to define with concise accuracy what are the extension rules for various fields in the bill of material and material master, and allow you to have the automatic creation of them. And then we have BMAX-M, which is really a tool to allow you to extend material masters of one or many, based on the rules you create in the BMAX-R rules engine, and then extend those material masters from one plant, or I should say, I always say plant. It's just built into me. One plant or one part of your organization to another. And then we have the BMAX-E, which is your bill of material extension for existing bills of material within SAP to extend them from one plant to another. So this is our suite of tools, rules engines, BMAX for material masters, BMAX-E for extension of BOMs. Next slide, Eric. So what do we do? Let's talk a little bit about the material master extension process. So what you typically do is, with our tools, you'll define a set of rules for how you want your material master to be extended. You'll have a set of parameters that you need to apply, and then from those set of parameters, you will then derive and populate your material master. So you'll set up your rules. You'll then execute in the second step the extension process with a very easy to use input screen, and then you'll be able to either view the results of your extension, or you'll see it as well. You can even test the run before you execute the run. Okay. Let's go to our next screen. So this is our input screen for the BMAX-R, our rules navigator. And really, what this is, it's a kind of a dashboard from which you can get in and create, change, display your rules that you will build for your enterprise. So you have the dashboard at the bottom, from which is a results list of a highly tuned, powerful search engine that you see on the top. You have a number of drop downs there, and you can have, you can add, you can subtract, you do ranges, etc., and create your own rules. So you have a rules engine dashboard from where you start, and then we'll go to our next screen. And once you start working with a rules engine, you have the ability to just work with a couple tabs here. So within the rules maintenance, you can see the rules definition, and the second tab is the fields to be populated. So with very easy in the first screen, it's the ability to set up the conditions that you require. So here you see an example where we have a unique set of metadata, selecting some plant and organizational areas that we want to work with for this extension. Then our next step is to populate the rules-driven field. And so here you'll say, okay, for the material masters that are selected on our first tab, the rules definition, we now want to take this set of basic data, this metadata for the material master. Here you can see, authorization group, purchase status, storage, allocation, etc. You can define that information and then populate that in when you do your run. Step 1, first tab, define the material masters that are affected by this set of rules. And in step 2, in this rules-driven field, apply the values that we see here that you define into that material master.